Congratulations! Your project won the first place of innovation competition. But where did the innovation go? Good morning, the honorable judges and everyone watching. I'm Zelka Dapala from Universitas Sriwijaya. A few months ago, I watched a student team win a competition. The idea was so brilliant, the presentation was so impressive, and the audience applauded. But the question is, what happens after the applause? Unfortunately, the answer was disappointed. The innovation stopped there. That moment made me realize something important. Innovation doesn't always fail because the idea is weak. Sometimes it fails because no partnership continues the journey. So today, I'd like to speak about Sustainable Development Goal number 17, Partnership for the Goals. In the status quo, universities produce a lot of research outputs, innovation projects, and competition winning ideas. But too many of them stop after the final presentation. Not because they have no value, but because they have no ecosystem to grow. Students may bring the fresh idea, but lack of long-term support. Institutions may have the long-term structure, but move too slowly. Industries may have the skill, but focus only on market sector. And even communities may have the real needs, but are involved too late. As a result, many innovations gained attention, but never create lasting impact. That is why SDG 17 matters. Partnership is not an extra part of development, that is what makes development to be possible. To overcome this challenge, I provide a powerful framework, namely trust. The first one is T, translate innovation into impact. Innovation shouldn't stop as a proposal, prototype, or even competition result. It becomes meaningful only when it solves our problem in our life, because impact is the true measure of innovation. The second one is about R, rise public literacy. Partnership cannot grow when the understanding is weak. People need to know first what the innovation is, why it matters, and how it can help them. When community understands the purpose, they are more likely to engage and contribute as a part of the solution. In other words, partnership cannot begin only by agreement, but also begins with understanding. The third one is about A, align the stakeholder. This is the heart of SDG 17. Students, institutions, industries, and communities must not work in isolation. Each of them has a significant role. Student brings ideas, institution brings the structure, industry brings the skill, and communities bring the real needs. When they work separately, innovation becomes fragmented. But when they work together, innovation becomes sustainable. The fourth one is about C, create transparent system. Many partnership collapse not because people do not care, but because there is no continuity, no monitoring, no accountability, and no long-term structure. A good program shouldn't disappear when the leadership changes. A strong partnership shouldn't depend on one program, one competition, or even one generation. When we want to make the impact to last, then we need to create the system stronger than the moment. The fifth one is about E, ensure sustainability. The true success of innovation is not on how loudly it celebrates today, but on how it continues to give the values for people tomorrow. Starting is important, but sustaining is what makes the life change. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask one simple question. If innovation survive only inside competition and publication, can we truly call it as sustainable development? Because I do believe the future is not threatened by the lack of ideas, but is threatened by the ideas that never reach the reality because no partnership continues the journey. And today, I call on to my young brothers and sisters out there, not only to innovate, but also to collaborate, not only to start, but also to continue together. And perhaps a better world towards tomorrow is not be built by the smartest individual alone, but by people who are willing to connect, who are willing to trust, and who are willing to collaborate together. Because that is the true spirit of SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals. I am Zelka Dapala, proudly bring this case. Thank you.